Once you have your model in a separate Rhino file, I'm going to go ahead and select the layer that I'll be working in, so 1/4 inch, and start making the floor because every model needs a floor. Unless you know what you're doing, I recommend just starting with a floor. So because I know it's 22 feet wide and 30 feet long, I'm going to click the box to make a box that is 24 feet long and then 32 feet deep and 1 foot thick. Now I can just move this into position by going from the inside corner 1 foot and minus 1 foot, and that's my base. So in terms of thinking how I want this to look, I want to be able to take off the top. So in order for this top to be taken off, I need to be able to take this layer off, meaning this layer and the floor will be pretty much identical, except for the holes in the roof layer. This also means that nothing should be connected to the top from the bottom or vice versa through this layer unless you have a key feature, which I will go over. For example, I want this wall to extend all the way through. Next, I'll start with the walls because those are relatively simple. And remember, I'm only going to go up to the bottom of this layer because I don't want things connecting through the layer that I'm going to take off. So I'm going to start at the corner and go -1 feet, and that'll get me my wall thickness. And I can go all the way down here to this end. Now when I do -1 feet and 1 foot and those measurements, it might not be exactly to your model because we might be designing in different directions. That is fine, just find out which way your model goes. So for example, if I put in 1 foot here and then 30 feet or 32 feet, it's going to be to the right of my model, even though that's not where it is. If this ever happens, you can just move command and put it in place. So back to my model, -1 foot, that's inches. So if you keep doing that and it comes out in inches, what you can do is go to File, Properties, Units, turn this to feet, okay, and scale model by that much, yes. Now by scaling it, it may sound like it changes, but when you measure the distances again, it's still 22 feet. So keep moving forward, place the wall down, I can go -1, and then that would mean a foot. So -1 is now a foot. I can go to this end, go up to the roof, and that's one wall done. For this project, I'm supposed to have the roof taken off, and I need to be able to take off one wall. I don't know which wall quite yet, but I do know that I want everything to look rather uniform. So if I have this wall here, I want it to mirror, by using the mirror command, across the midpoint of the base, and that's both walls done. What you can also do is, I'm going to go ahead and create the front wall here. So that'll be 22 feet, no, that'll be 24 feet by 1 foot, and go up to the ceiling, and then mirror this as well. Mirror midpoint to midpoint, or perpendicular, and those are your walls kind of done. So what I mean by that is go ahead and turn it to ghosted. You still have windows to do, and doors. So it depends on how you want your model to look, because if I build it like this, it's not going to fit, because these two right here overlap. So choose which one you want in the front, and then make sure that that one is always in the front. So for example, I want this wall to be on the edge, because I know that this part right here will also be burnt, and taking in the color of the wood once it's done, so you have a burnt side and then the brown MDF faces or whatever material you're using, I want this to line up. I'm going to have this wall be over this one right here. So to fix this, I'm going to scale 1D, go to the midpoint, select the outer edge, and move it in by a foot. and then that's a scaled wall. Now to do windows, go ahead and click the box again, and you have your window size already in your model, so you can pretty much just copy that and go up to its height, and go ahead and select the extrusion. If you have multiple windows of the same size, you can copy, select the corner, preferably inside such that you know where it's going, and then move it up, and that's 2 windows complete. And then box for your other windows if you have any. Go up to the height and copy, select, move. Now, one of my favorite commands is Boolean difference. Type in Boolean difference, enter, select surfaces or polysurfaces to subtract from. So I'm going to select my wall, and then enter, and then subtract width. So select the windows that you just created, and enter. And then this will count as one piece, and you can go ahead and do this for your door as well. So box, select where it's going to be. Oh, I almost forgot. Before you do that, do scale 1D to make this wall the size you want it. So midpoint out to the end. I'm going to do this end because it's less cluttered. And then in 1 foot. And now select the wall. Boolean difference. Select the door frame. And done. So now if I turn it to rendered, let's say, you can see there is a surface here. Usually if you use trim, there will be no surface here. So Boolean difference just eliminates that use of surfaces.